7 o'clock, we'll call the meeting to order. We have excused absence from council members Aguilar, Navarrete, and our mayor, Justin Calera. Councilmember Armitage.
Here.
Councilmember Lopez.
Here.
Councilmember Statico. Here. And Vice Mayor Alonso, I'm here. We have a quorum. Pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you please bow your head for the invocation? Heavenly Father, we just thank you for your love, your blessing, your provision. Thank you for all of the blessing you've poured upon this town. Lord, you've done so much in turning this town around and making it prosperous and making it just a beautiful pearl in the crown of the state of Arizona. I just ask, Lord, that you would come tonight, Lord, that you would release discernment and wisdom to the council and to the people that are here for all the decisions that need to be made. And we ask, Lord, that through it you'd be exalted and glorified. In Jesus' name. Amen.
So we have special presentations. We got 2 of them tonight. One of them, well, both of them we're excited for. One of them we're really excited for. We're swearing in our new magistrate judge, Miss Ellie Brown. And our second one is a presentation by PHI Air Medical. So we'll start with our first one, the swearing in and presiding magistrate of Judge Ellie Brown. Come down here.
Yes.
Here.
Put a flag in the background. Yeah.
That there, perfect. Yes.
I, Ellie Brown,
I, Ellie Brown,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona,
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear
true faith,
true faith and allegiance to the same,
and defend them against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and defend them against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of the office
and I will faithfully and impartially carry out the duties of this office
of presiding magistrate judge for the town of Superior,
of presiding magistrate judge of the town of Superior,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Excellent. Thank you.
And here's hoping none of us ever have to
Stand in
stand
front
before you.
Put some lines of A-L-O-X-E-O.
Thank you again.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, that was exciting.
Yes.
Next presentation, Luis Sandoval from PHI Air Medical will present PowerPoint presentation on emergency air medical membership proposal for the town of Superior regarding participation in PHI care memberships program.
Vice Mayor and Council, thank you for having us. My name is Louise Sandoval, I'm the Operations Manager for PHI Air Medical. And this is Forrest. She is our Air Medical Base Supervisor that oversees our aircraft that sits here at Pinole Valley Mine. So tonight I'm here to talk about our PHI Cares membership. Has anybody in the room been flown by one of our aircraft? Anybody been flown out?
We've been fortunate not to be. That's
Good.
good.
I'm happy to hear that. Normally, there is somebody in the room that has had that experience of either themselves or a family member that has been flown. Maybe you guys have heard the cost of what it costs for an air medical transport from here to Phoenix. So it's probably at minimum $20,000 or more. So most people think, I've got insurance, it'll cover the cost. The insurance pays anywhere from 20%, 80%, it's 80-20, some are 70-30, depending on that. So, you know, it pays 80% of $20,000, that's great, but still 20% of $20,000 is still a chunk of change. So tonight we're here to present to the council a membership. It would be a town coverage that would cover all the members in the town of Superior. And so that if anybody is flown and they're flown out of Pinal County, they would be covered under this membership. There would be no balance bill, if you will. Okay. Many questions come up about Medicare. Or if I'm on Medicare, it's covered historically. There's about a $1,500 out-of-pocket cost for Medicare. Okay. So I'll go over who we are and what we do. Some of you guys are familiar with us. We are in the air medical industry. There's about 1,500 flights a day across the country. And about, when you break it down, it's about 63 flights every hour, or a flight every minute. So we're busy. We have been serving Pinal County. AirVac has been in the state of Arizona since 1969. We just celebrated our 50-year anniversary, and we have been servicing Pinal County since then. We've had our aircraft that sits at Pinole Valley Mine since 2000, and really 2009 is when we've been there. So we service Superior quite a bit. We are a CAIMS accredited organization. CAIMS is a governing body that sets a bare minimum of how you should operate. I don't know if those are familiar with maybe a hospital, and they talk about JCAHO is coming. It's an accrediting body that says you meet a certain standard, and we meet that standard, and we actually exceed that standard when it comes to our CAIMS accreditation. We also have been awarded a Vision Zero award. We pride ourselves in our safety record, and with the Vision Zero award, it's rare that an organization gets the award once, but we have gotten that award twice for our safety record and the things that we do safety-wise that we don't only implement on the PHI Air Medical side, but we put it out to all the other air medical companies across the country, and so that they can implement those same things. Many of our processes and policies that are in place have been implemented by the FAA and mandated across the country. Our aircraft are equipped with a flight nurse, a flight paramedic. We have a pilot.
Thank goodness for that part.
Yes, the pilot. Yeah, they're kind of handy to have around. And then we have a mechanic that is assigned to that aircraft, and they take care of that aircraft on a daily basis. And then we have medical directors, and those are positions that we work under as a nurse or paramedic. You have to have that position that we work under. So we're working under our medical director's license, and we operate under orders and policies and guidelines in order to do patient care. They're not there like as if you were in a hospital where you can go ask the physician a question. We have some autonomy in the field. We're considered advanced practice, and we love working inside that helicopter. can see it's pretty tight. We are considered a mobile intensive care unit. We have the equipment, the same equipment, most of the equipment that an ICU has. We have multiple IV medications, we have a ventilator, we have a defibrillator, we have lots of equipment, whether it's cardiac, stroke, trauma, things like that, that we can utilize to get the patient from point A to point B. Many of the transports, this is just kind of gives you an idea of some of the kind of transports that we do. Traumas, heart attacks, strokes, high-risk OB patients, burn patients, pediatrics, and the preemies. That's what the NICU is, the NICU. They're the moms and babies that are premature. We coordinate the patient destination. We like to pick up the patient and take him to what we call tertiary care. So we historically would not pick up a patient and transport, for example, to maybe Mountain Vista. If they were a level 1 trauma, we would take them into a level 1 trauma center so they would not have to be transported again, and they would have all the resources to them available at that point in time. Some of the things that might interfere with our ability to transport might be a patient weight. It depends on the size of the patient and getting them into that aircraft, being able to safely secure them, get the straps around them. And then also weather plays a factor as well. If we ever got to a scene and we found that the patient we were not able to put that patient in our aircraft, we would get our gear and jump in the back of the ambulance and make that transport by ground. So we would never abandon the fire department that's here or the ground crew, the ground ambulance. We would always, if we're called to that scene, we would carry on, whether it's by air or by ground. So those are just a couple of considerations why we might not be able to fly. One of the things that we also have is it's called Fly PHI. It's an app now where you can launch an aircraft. So we'll be working with Superior Fire to be able to get that app so that they can just hit a button, answer a few questions, and then we're en route, and they can be, not have to worry about talking to our communications or dispatch or all of that. They can just touch of a button, get an aircraft moving. So with that app, we can get a phone number from the family member on scene. We send that to our communications department. That communications department will send that phone number a link, and they can track the aircraft and see exactly where we're at and when we land at the hospital. So sometimes we get going and we may get diverted from one hospital to the other, or there may be a change in destination from when the ground ambulance tells the family that we may be going one place and then we end up at another. So it helps that family track that aircraft, and they can track us all the way up until 15 minutes after we land. So here's the flight times, the actual flight times. Our closest is the aircraft that sits here in the Pinto Valley Mine, and it's a 4-minute flight time. That doesn't include the tones going off and us getting airborne. That's about another 7 to 10 minutes. So from the time the fire department makes the call for an aircraft to the time we're here, it's usually about 14 minutes or so. So it's fairly quick. Our next closest is Mesa, and then we have Eloy and Oracle. And then our AirVac 1 team, which is our perinatal team out of Sky Harbor. Then you can see the other surrounding aircraft around the state. So here's where we talked about the membership. There's no out-of-pocket cost if anyone in the town would be transported by one of our aircraft. There is the caveat that maybe our aircraft is not available, maybe they're on another call and a competitor may come in, but the chances of that are pretty, I would say, slim, because we have our aircraft at Pinto Valley, we have one at Mountain Vista Hospital, and then we have one in Oracle. So we kind of have a little triangle here where 3 of our aircraft are located. And then we also have one in Safford as well. So we're surrounded we've surrounded the town of Superior with our aircraft, but there is that chance that, if you're not in an accident, that maybe our competitor would show up and it wouldn't be us. Now, if you are in the hospital, say, I don't know, maybe the clinic here, I guess there's not really a hospital in the area, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But say you're in the hospital and you're going to get transported out. Say you went to Cobra Valley Hospital and they said, hey, we're going to fly you down to Phoenix. You can request us. You can say, make sure that we fly with PHI because I'm a CARES member, and they're aware of that. In addition to speaking up at the hospital, for example, we would give stickers so that people can put on their cars, so that in the event of an accident, the fire department sees that sticker and they know which company to call. Okay, and those are some of the things that we educate our fire departments with as well when we go out and we do training with them, so they can see that they are a PHI CARES member. There's no limit to the amount of times that the person can be flown, so we call it our frequent flyer. Sometimes you get patients that are in rural areas that maybe have medical problems, and we transport them multiple times a year. So there is no number of times that there is no limit on the number of times that they can be transported, and there's no financial coverage limitation. So sometimes it's you reach a max of $50,000 and then you're done. There's no limitations on the membership. So if you went out to our website and you decided that you wanted to sign up for the PHI CARES membership, it would be $60 a year for a household with insurance. And that covers you across the country. So any place that, if you're in Phoenix and you get flown by us, if you're in Gulf and you get flown to Phoenix or whatever, you would be covered. And that covers anybody in your household as well. What we're presenting to you today is that we have a town coverage. The coverage would be for 1,171 households, I believe, and the cost of that would be $8,197 to cover the whole town. And if I do the math correctly, I believe it's $7 per household to cover the whole town. The caveat to that is that that would be coverage only if they're picked up in Pinal County. So if you were going to Mesa or to Phoenix and got in a car accident and got picked up in Maricopa County, you wouldn't be covered. So what they can do is the household here, they can upgrade to that national coverage, and then they would be covered no matter what. Some people don't travel, they stay home and they stay in their community, and that's fine, but there is that option. So for $40 a year, I believe it's $45 a year that they would upgrade to the national coverage.
Are these the national?
This is just the normal rate if you went onto the website. And it covers everybody in the household, even if there is a non-family member. So if you've got the neighbor living with you, or the neighbor's kid living with you, or your nephew or niece, they would still be covered as long as they have that same address as their address.
Is there a number of how many individuals under a household?
Not as long as they're family. I believe it's 3 non-family members. But if you had 19 kids, then you're all covered. So they can upgrade, the residents of Superior would be able to upgrade for a rate of $45. That's what that would be. So the way it would roll out is if we decided to move forward with the coverage, we would, you guys would send a list of the households and the addresses, and then we would send you kind of a stack of cards, if you would, and then they could come down to City Hall and get their cards. It's kind of like a little insurance card you put in your wallet, so that if you need to be flown, you just pull that out and show them that you're a CARES member, or that we have that information in the event that you're flown. So there's a kind of a PR, little like a like a blast, like an email blast or a public announcement that goes out, that we would send with the cards and everything else in regards to that. And, that's it.
All right.
Any questions?
I had a question.
Sure.
What, if we were to do this, what about people who are existing members already?
So if they're existing members, then they would be covered nationally. So we can make that ask if we can discount them because they're already existing members. I don't know the answer to that. That's a good one.
Yeah, because I think I just recently signed up like 3 years, so.
Okay.
This obviously wouldn't do me any good if you're offering me $7 a year and I've already paid for 3 years at the higher rate. But then again, according to what you're saying, that's what I was trying to understand. Does that mean that I would, if I just retain my current membership, I would be covered under the national plan?
Yes, yes, you would.
Any other questions from council? All right, well, we thank you for your time and we appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much.
If two council members want to send me, or three council want to send me an email that you want this on the future agenda for possible adoption, I'll put that together.
Just tell me now,
You just tell me now.
put it on the agenda.
Okay.
Yeah, put it on the agenda.
Okay.
All right, that wraps up special presentations. We'll move on to staff reports. Since the mayor's not here, the mayor had the honor of being invited by the NLC to speak at the Hispanic Elected Leader Organization Summer Leadership Conference. So we'll be excited to hear her report when she gets back. Manager?
Yeah, there are a couple quick ones. There is a dedication for the donated park that Dr. Wilt donated to expand the US 60 park. That'll be part of the chamber luncheon tomorrow at 11:30. If you just want to go to the dedication, it'll be at the park at 12:30. On the agenda tonight, there's a grant approval. That has already gone through 2 phases of approval and is on to the final phase next week. So it's looking very promising. We're going to actually get that money as well.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to the consent agenda. So the consent agenda, item number 1, we have 7 items tonight. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, we got 6 items. 1, approval minutes of regular town meeting on May 18th, 2022. Approval minutes of special town council meeting on May 18th, 2022. Number 3, approval of town of Superior alcohol beverage permit for Monica Del Luna for a retirement party located at Magma Club on Saturday, June 25th, 2022 from 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. Item number 4, approve of town of Superior alcohol and beverage permit for Angela Olmos for a memorial on July 2nd, 2022 from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Item 5, approval of Superior Seal Coat stripping project in Belmont intersection in the amount of $166,038.30. Item number 6, approval of contract between Daystar Laser International LLC and the Town of Superior for the Superior 4th of July celebration drive-in laser show. The cost of the laser show is $4,100. And item number 7 are department reports.
Make a motion to approve.
There's a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember Lopez. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Consent passes. Okay, new business. So we have 2 items on new business. Our first item is a public hearing to discuss possible approval of resolution number 2022-653, a resolution by the mayor and council of the town of Superior, Pinal County, Arizona, adopting the fiscal year of 2022-2023 annual budget for the town of Superior. Staff recommends approving this resolution. This adopts the final budget discussed in the work session in April. The tentative budget was adopted at the May 18, 2022 regular meeting. Once the tentative budget is adopted, changes may be made to before the final budget is adopted, but the total may not be increased. This is a public hearing. Are there any questions from the public? We have to actually go to public hearing, or is that good?
Vice Mayor, council members, you would open the public hearing for comment.
Okay.
And when comment ends, you would close the public hearing and then move on to the resolution.
So we're open for a public hearing for any comments from the public regarding our budget. Is any? Going once? Twice?
Nothing optional.
No comments. Okay. All right, we're closing the public hearing.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2022-653.
There's a motion by Councilmember Armitage. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Lopez. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 2022-653 passes.
Could've been out of here already.
I got two agendas, that's why. All right. Our second item is discussion and possible approval of Resolution 2022-652. Resolution of the mayor and the town of Superior designating the town manager as an agent for the town of Superior to officially submit the fiscal year 2022 Historic Preservation Fund Grant Assistance Program with the Arizona State Parks Board and to sign documents and agreements necessary to receive Historic Preservation Fund grants assistance. Staff recommends approving this resolution.
Motion to approve.
Let me finish this. Discussion, whereas the proposed project must be consistent with the Arizona Historic Preservation Plan, and now therefore be it resolved that the mayor and town and council of Superior, Arizona hereby approves the filing of an application for the fiscal year 2022 Historic Preservation Heritage Fund Grant assistance and certifies that the town of Superior will comply with all appropriate state and federal regulations, policies, guidelines, and requirements as they relate to the application, and agrees to comply with all appropriate procedures, guidelines, and requirements established by the board as part of the application process, and certifies that the town of Superior has matching funds to whichever the amount is, and appoints the town of Superior manager, Todd Pryor, as agent to town of Superior to conduct all negotiations, execute and submit all documents, including but not limited to applications, agreements, amendments, billing statements, etc., which are necessary for the completion of the affirmation project.
Second the motion.
Who writes this stuff?
So there was a motion by Councilmember Estatico and a second by Councilmember Armitage. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, at this point, we'll move into call to the public. So the call to the public is any citizen desiring to speak on a matter that is not scheduled on this agenda may do so at this time. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes per person and shall be addressed to the town council as a whole, not to any individual council member. We have 4 individuals, and if you signed the wrong form, that's okay. I'll call out your names, and if If you're on this list to speak, please come up to the podium and introduce yourself. First person is, I believe it says Mark Cardenas. Is that correct?
Mr. Vice Mayor, honorable council members, I'm Mark Cardenas. I'm the new manager for consultation and partnership at Resolution Copper. Thank you. The good Heston Klink has left us for a job that was his dream job in Utah. As you may or may not know, that's where he's from. He's a University of Utah U. Just a little bit about myself. I'm a University of Southern California graduate, but I'm actually a native Arizona. My parents immigrated here in the 1970s from Mexico. Growing up in South Phoenix after doing terribly in high school, I joined the Army and spent 8 years as a machine gunner and the infantry there and field artillery. And once your knees and back give out, it was time for me to go to school. So I did that. After I graduated college, I actually ran for the Arizona State House of Representatives, which I didn't know what else to do, and I won somehow. Spent 6 years doing that, and then student loans and family bills come calling, so I decided it was time to go and give up power, and I entered the world of government relations and public affairs, and I love it so much. I was honored to be recruited by Heston to replace him on at Resolution Copper, and just love what we do. Love meeting people in Superior. Mayor Beth has just been a good friend ever since my days in the legislature, and so I'm just here to introduce myself, and please reach out to me if there's anything you need from us, any concerns, questions, even if you want to come tour underground. Now that we have tours starting up again with our COVID control relaxing just a little bit, I'm happy to have folks come and see what we do. Other than that, that's all I have.
Thank you.
Rotary meetings at 12 o'clock at the Superior Police Department, by the way.
I'm sorry, what was that again?
Rotary meetings are at 12 o'clock on Tuesdays at the police department.
I'm actually here on Tuesday, so
So you're the new Rotarian for Resolution 5.
Welcome. We look
all in
forward.
told, that's how it goes. So, thank you.
Next on the list, Freddie Miramon.
Vice Mayor and council members, first I want to thank you guys for the progress that's been made here in Superior, Arizona. Greetings, Vice Mayor and council members, administrators, community partners, and visitors. My name is Freddie Miramon, a resident and taxpayer here in Superior, Arizona. As we all know, the mass shootings that have been taking place in our public schools and other locations in our country, it seems to be the norm, or forbid that it doesn't happen here in Superior, Arizona. Soon, full enrollment will take place in our public schools. We would have 22 children enrolled here at the Head Start school. We're going to have 199 children enrolled at John F. Kennedy Elementary School, and 137 teenagers enrolled at the Superior High School, along with 60 staff members. One way or another, all of us have a family member or a friend attending school here at Superior Head Start and Superior District. First of all, schools are often a safe place for students and staff to be safe. But it's that sense of saying it can happen here that lulls us to accepting the status quo to be silenced. Not anymore. It's unpredictable now due to the school shootings that have been taking place. I just want to address the best way to mitigate a potential attack is improving our security posture and taking an aggressive, proactive approach to our public school. Safety prevention is better than cure. We must act now, not next month or later, or when grant money does become available. Currently, we have a part-time resource officer, and I believe that started maybe 2 months ago. And am I correct on that? Well, anyway, it started 2 months ago. I think we really need a full-time resource officer as soon as possible. Soon as school starts, not a part-time resource officer, but a full-time. Now, I asked the question, why can't the town of Superior and the school district and our community partners come together and work out a plan or solution to cover the cost of hiring a full-time police resource officer, equipped and trained to protect, to prevent, to respond, and to recover
30 seconds, Mr.
at our schools. But to this part of the school environment, we must not forget, as a whole community, that safety and security don't just happen. They are the result of collective consensus and public involvement or investment. We owe our children, the most vulnerable citizens in our society, a life free of violence and fear. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next we have Jenny Holmquist.
Hello, my name is Jenny Holmquist. I'm here tonight to ask the council for some help. We need help on Main Street with the skateboarders. They're a distraction for our business. They are rude kids, disrespectful. They leave their trash all over. When we ask them to leave, they curse us out. They move the benches, they move the paper machines. They also move the benches so they could jump over them. I have them on video if you care to see them. They leave their trash all over. They've tagged our building. We filed a police report. Years ago, we used to have an ordinance in town, no skateboarding on the sidewalks. I don't know if that's still in effect or not. I'm wondering if maybe we could get some signage up for the skateboarders that are out there now. Maybe no loitering also, if that's possible. We have a problem with these kids. They're not your nice, normal, typical kids. They're bad. They're bad kids. And we need to do something with them. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we have Kelly Elliott.
Hi, I'm Kelly Elliott, and I'm backing up what Jenny has just said. I have the antique store on Main Street, and I'm kind of wondering if there's something more that we could do for the children of the town. Like, I've tried befriending them, getting on their side, getting them on my side, but I just don't see that there's a whole lot for these kids to do in town. The police have been called out. They are extremely disrespectful to the police here. And we all know that there's nothing the police can do. They don't stand a chance with these kids. And they actually looked at one of the police officers and said, I'm going to continue skating here until you build me a new skate park. Because the one we have now is, he used very bad language. So, with the new high school, or the old high school being opened up, is there something that we could do to maybe put an indoor skate park for the kids? I don't know, I'm new to this, I've never spoken at a meeting before. I didn't introduce myself properly, I'm sure, I'm so sorry, but this is my opinion. I don't know how the funding goes, I'm sure there's insurance purposes, but if we could put, like, my husband even offered to build an indoor skate ramp, but I'm sure there's legalities and insurance that falls behind that, so it's not just a simple throw-up job. But with that building being so big and it's hot here, and to kind of side with the kids, they really have nothing to do. There's absolutely nothing for them to do here. If there's somebody that needs to head a program or come up with ideas, I would love to do that. I would volunteer my time for that in a heartbeat. So, but they are very destructive. I've tried being their friends. They've spit on my windows. They have knocked over my flowers. They called me horrible names. They actually had ran into two of my customers when they came out of my store. They were coming out of the store, and here he comes on a skateboard and knocked one of them down. So I don't know what more to do. But I've tried being on their side, and that doesn't work. And now I'm ignoring them, and that's not working either. So that's just a little idea I had. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else wishing to come up to call the public? Okay, if not, we're going to move to, we have no executive session, so we'll skip executive session. Summary of current events. We'll start off with Councilmember Armitage.
I just want to again congratulate Kelly Brown as our magistrate and Mark. Congratulations again to you. I'll take one of your cards as soon as you get your new title. I'll put that on. And I just want to thank the people who have taken the time to come to our meeting. It's not always the most fun and the most interesting, but it's I think for the council, it's encouraging when we see you guys show up and demonstrate that you're actually interested in what's going on here. So thank you for that. And thanks, Chief Frank, for the opportunity to get together with you and go to that meeting in CG the other day. Appreciate that very much.
Councilmember Lopez.
Again, congratulations, and welcome on board. Thank you, Patty, honor. And then to Kelly and Jenny, and thank you for bringing these. You know, I don't get a lot of this information, so it's kind of nice to know that there are some issues out there, and you brought them forward, and hopefully, we can be addressing some direction. I'm sure that, that'll be done, but be patient. I know kids, sometimes have a lot of time, know what to do. Parents are around to guide them, so, and then I know it's not just our time, it's everywhere. But,
And we're not expecting you guys to be the parents of these kids. Oh my gosh, no, absolutely not.
Yeah, I understand.
Just
It's something we can put in place. I think there were some signs. I think there still are some
There is.
signs, but maybe we need to put more and a little more noticeable so that,
Yeah, so
kind of
please have something to go.
fear of God in these kids. And then summertime, enjoy it. Oh, did you want to say something?
I'll follow up with, if you please do make an appointment with me and talk about it. I need to research the code, so please do.
I know the Little League is gearing up for all-star games and everything, so we're going to wish them well and successful sessions. Thank you.
Councilmember Steichel.
I'd just like to thank Todd for working on a pump, get some water on the fields. It's been a long process. I want to thank Chief. We communicate all the time, which is a good thing for us, and keeping our kids safe. But, unfortunately, there's other issues out there as well. Can't stop AR-15s from coming into the property and shooting people. That's a serious issue. Ms. Brown, we'd like to thank you for coming on board. Mr. Carnes, I hope to see you at Rotary. Jenny showed me the tape, but you probably not identify the kids. So.
All right. Todd kind of stole my thunder. I was going to have him work with you guys on what we can do to mitigate your issues. So I think that's eventually going to happen. Judge, welcome. We're excited to have you. Mr. Carlinus, welcome to Superior. We're happy to work. We're excited to work with you.
Vice Mayor, may I approach the mic and just say something?
Sure.
I want to extend my gratitude for this opportunity. I am looking forward to continuing my duties as a judge and also as a magistrate court superior. I want to let you know that I appreciate the process of how this was handled. You announced that there was a position. You had people apply for the position, you interviewed, and you made a choice. And I thank you for that process because that's how it should be. So I will do my duties faithfully and I will execute the duties as a judge according to the judicial canons, the statutes, and of course in working with the town of Superior. So once again, thank you very, very much for this opportunity. I will have to do the best that I can. Thank you.
Again, congratulations. And we have our two candidates in the audience, our writing candidates. So I'm glad to see you guys here. Wish you guys luck in the election coming up. And I think that's all I have. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, I already rudely broke into someone else's comments. I apologize.
So scheduling a meeting and events. All meetings are held at Town Hall. We have Emergency Service Committee meeting on June 16th at 6 p.m. Community Development Committee meeting at June 23rd at 6 p.m. Planning and Zoning Committee meeting July 7th at 6 p.m. And then our regular council meeting in July 14th at 7 p.m. Motion to
I'll
adjourn.
make the motion to adjourn.
Motion by Councilmember Lopez. Second by Councilmember Armitage. All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you all for coming.
I'm actually a member of the